News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Good morning, hotheads in Helena over the bitter ballot battle. Good morning, this is John King filling in for Peter Christian. Your news brought to you this morning by First Montana Bank, your home for free centennial checking, plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card online at firstmontanabank.com. Well, sparks were flying yesterday as a Helena woman, Carol Mackin, was escorted out of the House Judiciary Committee hearing on Thursday afternoon after failing to heed the chairman's warning that she had spoken too long at the podium. Moments earlier, Ellie Hill of Missoula made an impassioned plea to the chairman, Alan Duane, to make special provisions for more people to testify.
The Sergeant of Arms just said that there's 30 more people who have traveled from around the state to testify. 30 more people from our counties. You heard from Gary McDonald, the Commissioner of Roosevelt County. He traveled 400 miles. I would say that, with all respect to our chair, that we have not set this hearing with the intent to offer a reasonable opportunity to hear from the folks back home about what this bill would mean to their counties.
Then Carol Mackin stepped to the podium.
Carol Mackin from Helena. I am a taxpayer, and I don't think you have heard from a taxpayer today. I pay property taxes in Lewis and Clark County. My property taxes have seen their ups and downs, mostly up. I retired 7 years ago, and on average, my property taxes increased by 10% per year.
Ma'am, I'm not going to speak over the top of you. You heard clearly what the limitations are here.
You have an individual over here who will
Next proponent, please.
To take me out of this room, okay? That's what he's here for. Please request him to do that.
Is that what you want this to turn into, ma'am?
You bet you. I am a voter in this state. I can speak, whether I'm speaking over you or under you.
We're going to have to clear the room. Sergeant of Arms, clear the room, please.
Counties have said that mail-in ballots would save hundreds of thousands of dollars in costs, while Secretary of State Corey Stapleton contends that a mail-in only ballot might affect the integrity of a traditional polling place election. He says citizens can always request a mail-in ballot if they so choose. The House committee did not vote on the bill on Thursday. However, the Montana Senate has already voted in favor of the bill. Missoula police have revealed that the massive power outage in town on Wednesday afternoon was the result of some criminal behavior. Missoula Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh explains.
Just before 1 p.m., officers were called to the report of an accident in the 1800 block of East Broadway. Upon their arrival, they observed that a single passenger car had in fact left the roadway and struck a power pole, actually sheared off the pole and dropped power lines.
After the impact, power was cut to over 2,000 Northwestern Energy customers.
The driver of the vehicle was apparently uninjured. However, he was subsequently arrested for DUI. Northwest Energy was summoned, and they were able to restore power, some initially. Others, the rest of it took a while later into the afternoon.
The suspect in the case, 22-year-old Travis Bushnell, is facing his first DUI charge. If Northwestern Energy so chooses, it can pursue a case, and Bushnell could be required to help pay for the damages. A Kalispell man who tried to escape from the Flathead County Jail a week after he escaped from the Mineral County Jail is headed to prison. The Flathead Beacon reports that 27-year-old Zachary Bergman was sentenced Thursday to 20 years in prison with 10 years suspended. He previously pleaded guilty to attempted escape. Bergman was found in the ceiling of his cell at the Flathead County Jail on October 6th. Jail officials determined that he had used a toothbrush, an eating utensil, and a cup to make a hole in the ceiling. They also found a letter in his cell that said nobody could get out of Alcatraz too, but they did. The failed attempt came after he was arrested in Kalispell following his escape from the Mineral County Jail, where he was being held for auto theft. A 27-year-old Lamont Brown of Pablo appeared in Missoula Justice Court on Thursday and was held on $35,000 bail for several alleged crimes that occurred on Tuesday morning. Deputy County Attorney Mark Handelman detailed those charges for Judge Marie Anderson.
The defendant stole a car from the airport, drove to the dump, dumped trash without paying, and then led law enforcement on a high-speed chase across town. His stolen car eventually had to be disabled with stop sticks. And at the time of these events, the defendant was under the influence of methamphetamine.
Court records indicate that in addition to being under the influence, Brown was also intoxicated at the time of his arrest. Judge Henderson set bail at $35,000. The first stage of an investigation into the extent of environmental hazards on the grounds of the Columbia Falls Aluminum Company has confirmed that contamination is leaking from some old landfills. Project manager John Stroiazzo explains.
This is the first phase of a multi-phase environmental investigation at the site. We have spent the past year and a half analyzing the groundwater, surface water, and conducting other environmental investigations at the site to see the nature and extent of any issues that may be there at the site.
Stroiazzo was asked whether or not it was affecting local drinking water. He says the answer is no.
We knew there was an issue with some old landfills that are at the site, and there was some contaminants leaching from historical landfills, and we have confirmed that and defined the source as we believe it is. In addition to our investigation, we have also been monitoring and providing local residents of the area free monitoring of their well water systems, and there are no contaminants in their domestic water supply.
Comments from both Montana State and from the EPA are expected in another month or two. Over the past St. Patrick's Day weekend, the largest hot spring pool at the Jerry Johnson Recreation Site in Clearwater National Forest was filled with silt and debris from heavy spring runoff. Public Information Officer Jennifer Bicar said the pools are no longer available for public use.
At this point, it's not a public health or safety issue, and the main problem is just that those pools these users have created are no longer available for use because they filled in. That doesn't mean that the area has been damaged. This is a natural occurring but infrequent event, and so at this point, really the issue is just that these pools have been filled in through this weather event.
Bicar asked visitors not to attempt to dig out any of the pools before nature can take its course. If you know anything about Jerry Johnson, they like it natural out there. Bicar said damaging natural features can result in a fine of $250.